And welcome back. Today we have finished day one of digging. We are currently digging where the leak was presenting last time.
Oh, yeah.
There's your problem. Welcome back to BTP, where I show you a body corporate report that I do after conducting the works. We're underneath. Last time this hole was sopping. Wouldn't even be able to get here myself. Right now it is bone dry. Upon our initial investigation, we were finding water bubbling up throughout this part here. We were also finding strong readings of tracer gas. But like most things, before we decide to cut and dig, we like to do further investigations. Throughout this line here, we drilled a few holes, penetrated the ground to create a cavity with our probe. Even around through here, you can actually see an existing hole. Where is this? Even around through here, just to make sure that the leak wasn't happening through here. And all our testing equipment suggested the leak was coming from over here. So that's why we put report 1 together, sent it through, actioned the next course of works. Today, when we were digging down here, we were still seeing plenty of bubbling, which then once we started to undermine it through, we still got more bubbling, indicating it was right there. So we continued through with our works. It was too much to undermine it. So then we decided to concrete cut, create a cavity and dig straight down. This is when we found power. You can see the power box here. We found power approximately 12 to 1300 deep below this level here. Usually as plumbers, when we lay trenches and drains, we lay water, then power on top. Once I got down to the bottom there and the water wasn't on, right now it's all full, but I'll show you a video in a second where you can see a cavity underneath this area. And it looks like the cavity, you can almost see back to here, the water's still bubbling. Welcome to site. Kill scythe. This is the trench that we've dug today. This is roughly where we thought the water was going to be. This is where we are right now. Just underneath this water is the mains power. Just behind here, in this bush where you can see, there is mains power board. And once we get down underneath in here, you can see, you can hear the water. But behind here, let me just switch to camera. Welcome back, and the light is on. We can see here, the trench has been dug by hand, and all this has been undermined from the water. This is clay soil right here, and underneath, inside is all sand. Right now, my best indication by hearing, I can listen to the water and it sounds like it's still a few meters in. We're going to need to reassess. What I think's going on is in this blue section, I like the idea of cutting all of this out to dig down to be able to get to where I think the leak is. Having looked through this area here underneath, there's a few issues. One, the amount of water that's passed through has undermined all of that channel. You'll be able to see. That's an issue that we're going to need to look at once we get the repaired leak and identified. But right now, it looks to be the strongest point. We're going to need to dig up this area, concrete cut, dig straight down to the leak. That's my best bet. After everything that we've seen today, this seems like it's the most appropriate course of action. There is a water meter here, which I believe the mains could potentially be running all the way through and across and out. Every house, there's a water meter back here, and I believe if the mains is running through here, it would shoot back and across that way. There's two schools of thought for myself. As plumbers, we're going to use existing trenches in the ground. You've got a stormwater trench that runs all the way through here. Plus you've also got power that runs all the way across through there. That's why I think the best bet is right here to attack it, especially after being able to see inside of here, get myself down. As I mentioned, you'll be able to see that footage. You can see straight underneath to this point here. Where's my hand in there? Oh, But that is so undermined. And it still looks like the leak's coming from this side. This is why I believe this is the most appropriate course of action. To cut this section out here, we're gonna have to let these humans know that they're not gonna be able to use their driveway. But cut this out here, dig down, find the leak, repair the leak. Then from there, we need to assess the undermining condition, because you'll be able to see in that video that there's a channel that's just been completely undermined. When we start to think about soil dropping away and moving, it eliminates any support underneath the concrete, and the concrete can crack and creates further issues moving forwards. And here is a little bit of site and how we have left it. I will do some more tidying up here with my blower, but I'll leave this spick and spam. Thank you for your trust today. I appreciate it. You might be asking yourself, Mr. BTP, why do I just need to cut a random hole? Can I do further testing? While you potentially could do testing, I had the leak detection fellow back from the first visit today to do some more testing just in case. And this is at no extra cost to the job. I just, if someone has done some leak detection work for me and I don't know exactly where the leak is, I'm going to call them back and I expect that service. Now, because the leak is so deep underneath this, standard practice might be 800 to 700 mil deep maximum, but because it looks like the water is 1400 mil deep right now, we're getting almost zero noise come through this area. It's very hard to pinpoint it. This is why I think any sort of leak detection work moving forward is going to be redundant. I think with what we found today, with looking in that trench, showing you that footage, you can see how it's underneath and it looks like it's a little bit further in. As always though, like the initial understanding, this is just purely based off my assessment of what I'm seeing here. With that x-ray vision, I don't know entirely where it is.